I caught my fiancé at 2 a.m. texting his ex. Miss you so much. Wish we could be together. He was right next to me in bed. I took a photo of his screen. Then I went back to sleep. When he woke up, I'd already sent the photo to his parents, his sister, and the wedding venue. I, 35, female, got up to use the bathroom around 2 a.m. last month. Came back to bed and my fiancé Zane, 32, was still awake, phone glowing in the dark. Not unusual. He's always been a night owl. Except something was off. The way he was smiling at his screen, this soft, intimate smile I hadn't seen in months. The same look he used to give me when we first started dating 4 years ago. I got back in bed, turned toward him. His phone screen was visible from my angle. He was too absorbed to notice me watching. The contact at the top just said a purple heart emoji, not my name. I watched him type, "Miss you so much. Wish we could be together. Can't stop thinking about that weekend. You make me feel things I'd forgotten existed." Her response came through. "I know, baby. Soon. Just be patient. Once everything settles down, we can make this work." He typed back, "Being here is torture when my heart is with you. This wedding feels like the world's longest prison sentence. Meredith." I lay there frozen. 4 years together, engaged 10 months. Wedding was 56 days away, invitations mailed, deposits paid. My parents had just thrown us an engagement party, and he was texting another woman that marrying me felt like a prison sentence with my name at the end. My brain went weirdly quiet. No anger, no hurt, just this cold clarity, like someone flipped a switch. I grabbed my phone off the nightstand, opened the camera, held it steady, and took a photo of his screen showing the messages. Then another as he scrolled up, revealing more. Then a third. He never looked up, too busy in his little conversation. I set my phone down, turned away from him, stared at the wall. About 10 minutes later, he finally put his phone away, kissed my shoulder. "Love you," he whispered. I didn't say anything, pretended to sleep. He texted a bit more. I could hear the buzzing, then finally dozed off around 3 a.m. I didn't sleep, just lay there thinking. Around 5 a.m., when I was sure he was deep asleep, I grabbed my phone and went into the bathroom, closed the door, sat on the edge of the tub, opened my email, and started composing. First one went to his parents. Subject: wedding canceled. Body: found the attached on his phone last night. We're done. Sorry you had to find out this way. Attached the clearest photo, sent. Second email to his sister who'd been helping coordinate everything. Same photo, same message. Third to the wedding venue. Need to cancel the ceremony scheduled for date. Please process per the contract terms. Documentation of cause attached. Then the photographer, the caterer, the florist, the DJ, the cake person, every single vendor we booked. My maid of honor, Jade. My parents, everyone who needed to know. I forwarded everything to my personal email as backup. Uploaded the photos to cloud storage. Screenshot the sent emails. By 6 a.m., I was done. Climbed back in bed, actually managed to sleep a couple hours. Woke up around 8:30 to both our phones exploding simultaneously. Calls, texts, notifications going crazy. He grabbed his phone, groggy and confused. Saw his mom calling, then his sister, then his dad, then his mom again. "What the hell?" he answered. "Mom, what's wrong?" I got up and started getting dressed. Heard him on the phone. "What? What photo? I don't know what you're talking about." Long pause. "Mom, no, it's not. Let me explain. It's not what it looks like, Mom." He came running into the bathroom where I was brushing my teeth. His face was sheet white. "What did you do? What did you send them?" I spit out toothpaste. "Screenshots of your conversation with Purple Heart Emoji Girl. The one you miss so much. The one who makes you feel alive. You went through my phone." "Didn't need to. You were having your little chat right next to me. I just documented what I saw. That's not fair. You can't just..." "You called our wedding a prison sentence, Zane." He froze. "Yeah, I saw that part too. I was venting, that's all. It didn't mean anything. You told her your heart is with her. I was being dramatic." At 2 a.m., in our bed, planning your future with her after things settled down. Please, just let me explain everything. It's not what you think. My phone rang. My mom. I answered. Sweetheart, what's happening? His mother just called me hysterical. Wedding's off, he's been texting his ex. I found out last night. Oh, honey, are you okay? Will be. I'll call you later. Hung up. Zane was full-on crying now. Please, we need to talk about this. You can't just blow up our entire relationship over some texts. Forward me the whole conversation right now. Everything between you two. What? Your phone. Show me every message. If it's so innocent, prove it. He clutched his phone. That's private. You texted her in my bed. You lost privacy rights. Show me or I'm leaving right now. He didn't move. That's what I thought. I grabbed my laptop bag and keys. Where are you going? Anywhere but here. We have to talk. You should have talked before you started planning your future with another woman. We're done. You can't just leave. I walked past him toward the door. You're going to regret this. You're throwing away everything over nothing. I turned back. Nothing, right? Tell me, what weekend were you two reminiscing about? The one you can't stop thinking about? His face went pale again. Yeah, thought so. Bye. I left. Stayed at my friend Jade's place. Ignored probably 60 calls from him over the next few days. His texts went from begging to angry to begging again. He showed up at my office twice. Security walked him out both times. Then his mother Barbara called. You humiliated my son, sending that photo to the entire family, to vendors. That was cruel and unnecessary. Your son was planning a future with his ex while planning a wedding with me. What was I supposed to do? Talk to him privately, like an adult, not air everything publicly. He lost the right to privacy when he texted another woman that marrying me felt like prison. Every groom gets cold feet. It's normal. You're overreacting. Cold feet don't involve telling your ex you wish you could be together. It was just texts. Nothing even happened. How do you know? Silence. That's what I thought. We're done. Don't call me again. I hung up. His sister Lucy called the next day. She was calmer. Look, I'm not defending what he did. It's messed up, but he's falling apart. He says nothing physical happened. Did he show you the full conversation? No, he said you'd misunderstand the context. Of course he did. Want me to forward the screenshots? Yeah, actually. I sent them all. Every photo I'd taken. She called back 20 minutes later. Holy shit, Meredith, this is way worse than he told us. Yep. He's been saying you overreacted to some innocent friendly texts, but he literally told her the wedding was a prison sentence and that his heart is with her and they were making plans for after things settled down. I'm so sorry. This is really bad. I had no idea. Thanks. I appreciate you being honest. What about all the deposits, the venue, everything? That's where it got complicated. The venue required 60 days notice or we'd forfeit the $4,000 deposit. We were 56 days out. Photographer was past their 90-day cancellation window. Lost that $1,500. Caterer, florist, DJ, all similar situations. About $12,000 total in deposits and fees we'd lose. I'd paid roughly $8,000 of that. He'd paid $4,000. We'd split it roughly 70-30 since I make more as a marketing manager and he's still figuring out his freelance graphic design thing. He called that afternoon from his sister's phone. We need to talk about the money, the vendors. What about them? I can't afford to lose $4,000. We need to postpone, not cancel. Work through this. There's nothing to work through. Wedding's off. I wasn't even cheating. We were just talking. You told her you wish you could be together. You made plans for a future with her. That's cheating. It was fantasy venting. I would never actually do anything. Your messages say otherwise. You're being completely unreasonable. We can do counseling, fix this, but I can't lose $4,000. Should have thought about that at 2 a.m. This is financial abuse. I actually laughed. Financial abuse is me not marrying someone who's in love with their ex. Try again. My lawyer says I can sue you for half the losses since you unilaterally canceled. Your lawyer should read the contracts. Most wedding vendors have infidelity clauses. Cheating is grounds for penalty-free cancellation by the non-cheating party. Long silence. You're lying. Read your contracts. I already did. Specifically looked for it after I sent the cancellation emails. This is insane. What's insane is you expecting me to marry you after what you did. We could have worked it out. Those texts were misinterpreted. The ones where you miss her, the ones where you're planning your future together, or the one where you called marrying me a prison sentence with my name at the end? He hung up. His dad, Howard, called that evening. This one I was dreading. Meredith, can we talk? Yeah. I saw the messages. What he did was wrong. I'm not defending it, but I'm asking you to think about the financial fallout here. He's going to be buried in debt from this. That's not my problem. I know. But listen, you paid more into this wedding. What if I reimbursed your losses, made you whole financially? Could we work something out where everyone walks away clean? I don't want your money. Please just consider it. I know you're not getting back together. I understand that, but let me help with the financial mess. He's my son. He screwed up badly, but I can't watch him drown over this. That got me. He wasn't making excuses, wasn't defending Zane, just being a dad. I'll think about it. That's all I ask. Thank you. About a week later, Zane showed up at Jade's apartment. Don't know how he found me there. We need to talk. Really talk. No. You owe me that after 4 years. I owe you nothing. It was a stupid mistake. I got scared about commitment and reached out to someone familiar. It didn't mean anything. You told her your heart was with her. I was being dramatic. You know how I get emotional. Yeah, now I do. You get emotional and text your ex about leaving me for her. That is not what happened. Then show me your phone. Full conversation, everything. He held his phone tighter, didn't say anything. Exactly. Leave. When you're alone and miserable at 40, remember you're the one who gave up. When you're explaining to your next girlfriend why your last engagement ended, remember you texted your ex that marrying me was a prison sentence. He left. Came back an hour later with his mom. Jade answered the door. Nope, she doesn't want to see you. Barbara pushed past her. We're not leaving until she explains herself. I came out. Both of you need to go. You destroyed my son's reputation. Everyone thinks he's a cheater. He is a cheater. Some texts don't make him a cheater. Actually, they do. Emotional affairs are still affairs. Nothing physical happened. You sure about that? I looked at Zane. What about that weekend you mentioned? The one you can't stop thinking about? Want to tell your mom about that? His face went white. Barbara turned to him. What weekend? Nothing. We just ran into each other at a conference. Had dinner. When? I asked. He didn't answer. The Denver conference 10 weeks ago. The one you went to alone, where the Wi-Fi was supposedly so bad we barely talked. Barbara's expression changed. Did something happen? No, we just talked. You're lying, I said. You told her you think about that weekend constantly, that she makes you feel alive. That wasn't just dinner. Tears started. We kissed. That's it. One kiss. Barbara looked like someone punched her. Finally, some truth. You physically cheated 10 weeks before our wedding. It was just a kiss. You're still lying, but honestly, I don't bum anymore. Both of you, get out. Barbara was staring at her son. You told me nothing happened at that conference. Mom, it was just, you looked me in the eye and told me nothing happened. It didn't. Not really. Get out of my friend's apartment, I said. Now, before I call the cops. They left, but Barbara turned back at the door. You're making a huge mistake. He's a good man. If your husband was texting another woman the way your son texted his ex, would you call it nothing? She didn't answer. That night, the ex, Isabella, found me on social media, sent a message. Hey, this is awkward, but wanted to reach out. What happened with Zane and me wasn't planned. We have real history. Sometimes feelings don't just die. He's torn up about hurting you, but he's confused about what he wants. Maybe it's better this happened before the wedding. Sorry you got caught in this. I stared at that message for a while, then replied, You're not sorry I got hurt. You're sorry you got caught. You were actively planning a future with an engaged man. Don't pretend you're some innocent bystander. Lose my number. Blocked her immediately. Couple days later, long email from Zane, pages of apologies and explanations. Buried in there was this gem. I've been seeing a therapist who thinks I have commitment issues from my parents' divorce. I self-sabotage when I get scared. This wasn't about you not being enough. I'm broken, but I'm getting help. If you give me time to fix myself, we could try again. I deleted it without responding. Howard called again, following up on our conversation. I'm offering $10,000, covers your losses plus some extra. In return, you don't pursue any legal action and we all move on quietly. Legal action for what? Some vendors are asking about the cancellation reason. If infidelity gets invoked, could affect his ability to book venues in the future. Not my problem. I'm asking as a favor. Please take the money. Let this go quietly. I thought about it. $8,000, not as a settlement, as reimbursement for actual losses. I'll sign something saying we've settled the financial stuff. But I'm not lying to vendors. They ask why we canceled. I'm telling the truth. That's fair. I'll have something drawn up. 3 weeks later, the paperwork came through. Clean settlement, no admission of guilt required, just acknowledgement that financial obligations were resolved. I signed it. Howard was true to his word. Zane tried another approach after that. Sent mutual friends to talk to me, showed up at places I'd be. Each time I shut it down. My therapist helped me understand that this was classic manipulation. Testing boundaries, seeing if I'd crack. Dr. Martinez became my lifeline during this period. What you're experiencing is grief, she explained during one of our sessions. Not just for the relationship, but for the future you'd planned. At 35, that hits differently than it would have at 25. She was right. The biological clock wasn't just ticking, it felt like it was screaming. But therapy helped me reframe it. You're not starting over, Dr. Martinez said. You're starting from a place of knowledge and self-respect that you didn't have before. Final attempt came about 6 weeks after the cancellation. Handwritten letter from Zane. Long, emotional, basic message. He'd ended things with Isabella, was in therapy, had done the work, wanted another chance. I tossed it without reading the whole thing. Lucy called. Did you get his letter? Yeah? And? Not interested. He's really changed. This broke him. He's worked on himself. Good. He should keep working on himself with someone else. You won't even consider it? Never. I'll never trust him again. Every late-night text, every work trip, every time he's distant, I'd wonder, that's not a relationship. So 4 years mean nothing? 4 years mean nothing compared to a lifetime of paranoia. It wasn't one mistake. It was months of texting, an emotional affair, a physical affair because I guarantee it was more than just a kiss. It was lying repeatedly, planning a future with someone else while planning a wedding with me. That's not one mistake. He's paying for it, lost most of his friends, his reputation is destroyed, he can't even mention the wedding without people judging. Natural consequences. You sound cold. I'm not cold, I'm just done being manipulated. Fair enough. Meanwhile, something unexpected started happening at work. Without the constant wedding stress, I found myself more focused than I'd been in months. My campaigns were sharper, my presentations more confident. When the senior marketing manager position opened up, I didn't hesitate to apply. You seem different, my boss Angela noted during my interview. More decisive. I've learned to trust my instincts, I said, and to cut losses when something isn't working. I got the promotion, 20% salary increase, corner office, team of 5 reporting to me. The irony wasn't lost on me. While Zane was spiraling, I was rising. Jade threw me a promotion party. Look at you, killing it without dead weight, she said, raising her glass. To Meredith 2.0. To knowing my worth, I corrected. The wedding would have been this past weekend, actually. Instead of walking down an aisle, I spent Saturday morning at a leadership seminar, Saturday afternoon getting my hair done for the company gala, and Saturday night networking with industry leaders. When I got home, I realized I hadn't thought about what could have been until that moment. That's when I knew I was healing. Last I heard through the grapevine, Zane moved to Portland. Fresh start somewhere new. Isabella apparently ghosted him once the scandal became real and messy. Shocker. Turns out fantasy affairs are more appealing than actual consequences. Me? I'm not just all right. I'm thriving. The therapy helped me understand that what happened wasn't about my worth, it was about his character. At 35, I finally learned the difference between settling and choosing. Dating feels different now. Not weird exactly, but more intentional. I know what red flags look like. I know what my non-negotiables are. When Marcus, the VP from our partner agency, asked me to coffee after the quarterly review meeting, I said yes, but I also paid attention to how he treated the server, how he talked about his ex-wife, whether his words matched his actions. "You're very direct," he said during our third date. "I like that. No games." "Games are for people with time to waste," I replied. "I'm 35, I know what I want." He nodded approvingly. "What do you want?" "Partnership. Someone who sees marriage as a team sport, not a prison sentence." That was 2 months ago. We're taking it slow, but there's something solid there, something real. He's 41, divorced, has his shit together. When he texts me, it's his name that comes up on my phone, not some cryptic emoji. When we're together, his phone stays face down on the table. My mom finally admitted what I suspected all along. "I never liked him," she said over Sunday brunch. "Something always felt off, but I couldn't pinpoint it. A mother knows." "Why didn't you say anything?" "Would you have listened?" She was right. I wouldn't have. Sometimes you have to learn lessons the hard way. "Besides," she continued, "look at you now. Promotion, new apartment, that confidence you're carrying. Maybe this was exactly what needed to happen." The new apartment is my favorite achievement. 1-bedroom downtown loft, all mine. No compromises on paint colors or furniture. No shared lease agreements or splitting utilities. Just me, making decisions for me. The realtor asked if I needed to run anything by my partner. "No partner," I said. "Just me." "Brave," she replied. "Smart," I corrected. Ran into Barbara at the grocery store 3 weeks ago. We made eye contact across the produce section. She looked like she wanted to say something, then just nodded and walked away. I nodded back. No hard feelings, but no conversation needed either. My therapy sessions have shifted from crisis management to life planning. Dr. Martinez helps me understand that what I experienced was actually a gift disguised as a trauma. "You discovered his true character before making a legal commitment," she said during our last session. "Before joint finances, shared property, potentially children, the timing was perfect." It didn't feel perfect. Growth rarely does, but look at the evidence. Your career trajectory, your confidence, your clarity about what you want. Would the woman who was planning that wedding have applied for the promotion? She was right. That woman was focused on pleasing everyone else, making sure the wedding was perfect, keeping Zane happy. This woman focuses on her own goals and doesn't apologize for having standards. The promotion came with interesting perks. I now travel quarterly for conferences, exactly the kind of opportunities I used to decline because Zane would sulk about me being gone. Last month's Chicago conference was incredible. I networked, learned, grew my professional circle. No guilty texts home, no rushing back early to manage someone else's insecurity. Freedom tastes different at 35 than it did at 25. It's not wild and reckless anymore. It's intentional and valuable. It's knowing that my time and energy are finite resources, not to be wasted on people who don't deserve them. My friend Jade deserves massive credit for my healing. She let me crash at her place for weeks without complaint, listened to me rage and cry and process, never once suggested I give him another chance. When I was ready to date again, she helped me create my online profile with photos that showed the real me, not the people-pleasing version. "You're not the same person who got engaged to him," she observed. "Make sure your photos reflect who you are now." She was right. The woman in my new photos has different eyes. Clearer, more confident, less willing to settle. Some people still think I overreacted, that I should have tried counseling, that everyone makes mistakes. Those people didn't see him texting another woman in my bed at 2 a.m., calling our wedding a prison sentence. Those people don't understand that some betrayals reveal character flaws too deep to fix. My cousin asked at a family gathering if I ever regret my decision. Don't you wonder what if? Every day, I said. What if I hadn't gotten up that night? What if I'd married him? What if I'd spent years wondering why he seemed distant, why intimacy felt forced, why I never felt truly chosen? But don't you miss him? I miss the idea of him, the potential I thought he had, but I don't miss walking on eggshells or feeling like I had to earn love or wondering if my feelings were valid. Looking back, the signs were probably there earlier. I was just too invested to see them, too afraid of starting over to acknowledge them. The way he'd get irritated when I worked late, like my career success somehow threatened him. How he'd dismiss my friends as drama whenever I needed their advice. Small things that individually seemed manageable, but together painted a picture of someone who needed me smaller, not stronger. To anyone reading this in a similar spot, especially women my age who feel like time is running out, trust your gut. It's better to start over at 35, 40, 45 than to marry the wrong person. Age brings wisdom about cutting losses early. Don't let anyone tell you that your standards are too high or that you're too picky. The biological clock is real, but it's not more important than your peace of mind. I'd rather be a single mother at 40 than a divorced mother at 42, wondering how I missed such obvious red flags. And if you catch them, document everything. Don't let them rewrite history. Don't let anyone convince you that betrayal is normal or that you should be grateful for scraps of loyalty. I'm doing better than okay, one intentional day at a time. No regrets about my decision. My only regret is not trusting my instincts sooner, not valuing myself enough to demand better treatment earlier. But hey, at least I saw it before I said I do. That's worth everything.